They've done it. Their foot is in the door. And sincerely, I say to you, Canadiens fans, you're going to stay there. The Capitals have advanced to the second round. They will play the Hurricanes, which means the Canadiens are out in 5. But this is the year they arrived. And I never know if it's good or tolerable to do the, hey, I'm not a fan of this team, and they've lost. But to fans of this team, you should be happy. No, if Canadian fans are mad, they should be mad and they should be upset. But you arrived earlier than we thought. And maybe not earlier than you thought, but earlier than a lot of us thought, because you're one of a group of teams that has been fighting for that wild card spot, getting in, and this can be the foot in the door, and maybe you can have years ahead. And they've done it. Their foot is in the door. And sincerely, I say to you, Canadiens fans, you're going to stay there. You are, like, I don't see the big step back next year that, say, Vancouver took from last year to this year. They're going to have the Calder winner this year. I think they're going to have the Calder winner next year.
Perhaps.
They've got a goaltender who in year 1 of a sweetheart of a deal has confirmed, sweetheart of a deal, Montembeault for 2 more years at $3.15 million against the cap, while Jacob Fowler gets ready to become the guy, or at the very least split time with Montembeault. You've got a good thing going, Canadiens.
They also played this year without Gooley for a long time. They're going to get Reinbacher back, see what he is. Like, this is obviously a very young team, the youngest team in Stanley Cup playoff history. They're going to be around for a while. They're going to get more dangerous. Hopefully there is no backslide or like sophomore slump or whatever, but there is plenty of reason to feel good about this team moving forward. They're very exciting.
Do you think the Patrick Laine experience has been good so far for the Canadiens? Because he scored 20 goals in 52 games, which 20 goals, it's a good marker. 52 games, that's a good marker. But Patrick Laine will always, because we know how good he can be, will always torment us with the idea of what more else there is out there. And let's be real, this guy went into the playoffs as a fourth liner and had a little injury sort of fish thing. But I think, and this is just a guess, if he were playing better, he'd be in the lineup. They'd have him play through it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if he felt like he could. I think that the conversation around Patrick Laine is always going to be like, well, how much is he leaving on the table? And unfortunately, that's a frustrating conversation to continue having. I think at this point in his career, you kind of know what you're getting with him. And if he can score 20 or 30 goals, you take it.
Real quick, Mark Scheifele not traveling with
no.
Out for game 6.
Oh, no.
Bad.
Not ideal.
Matvei Michkov this year had 41 points, I want to say, right? Yeah, he had 63 points, 26 goals, and 37 assists. Is that a mark that is attainable by Ivan Demidov next year?
I think the biggest problem for Ivan Demidov is he has significantly better players on his team. Like more people to score the goals.
If he finds a spot, a consistent spot in like their top 6, perhaps their top line, I think Demidov can clear.
I think he gets 55 points at least. And it's a leap because, as we've said, we don't know if he always totally plays hockey. But Cam Robinson has told us that he's less of a trickster out there and more of a hockey player now. You are adding that to this group that, yes, isn't very deep, but you're only getting better. You do lose David Savard, who retires after, I believe, 860 games, won a cup with Tampa. Nice little career for him. I'll say that the feather in the Canadiens' cap this year is that I didn't think there was a planet in which David Savard was still on the Montreal Canadiens after the trade deadline. But they found themselves in the picture, own rental, kept him, made the playoffs, and I love it. You end up being the subject of Steve Yzerman's ammunition against his captain. Say, look what the Canadiens did. Why can't we be like that? So good on you, Canadiens. We love you. Pete does, at least.
We all silly like the mayor.